G'day everyone, Clok-Roo reporting, and today I'm doing another rambling video. This time about two franchises at the same time instead of one. They are Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders, two of my favorite franchises of all time. And if you've been paying attention quite recently with E3 going on, you probably already know where this is going. But I'm not going to jump straight into the whole Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders thing straight away. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about Skylanders Imaginators and what I expect of it coming forth, okay? Now, I have to be honest with you guys. When I was first heard about Skylanders Imaginators when it was first announced, i.e. before E3, when the first reveal trailer was revealed, I wasn't really that excited for it, in all honesty, because there are a couple of problems with it. The first problem I have is they're using the Portal of Power again. If you're one of the few people that watched the last Skylanders rambling video I did, you might recall how I said don't use the Portal of Power. It's a big gamble. It's not going to pay off. But this is Toys for Bob we're talking about. They seem to have a big focus on that Portal of Power, and it really shows. They've stuck with the idea. It's just not working for me. It doesn't really suit me. I wanted something completely different, and this isn't what I expected when I said completely different. What they did do as something different was the creation concept. Personally, I'm not really that fussed on the whole creation idea. It just sort of doesn't really work for me. I'm not really sure how to discuss it, to be honest. It just doesn't... It's not something I'm like, okay? I'm not a big fan of creating your own this, creating your own that. Creation is not something I'm good at. I'm good at playing and finding out what's the best solution. That's what I do. But there's more problems than just the Portal of Power and not really being interested in the creation idea. The way Toys for Bob have used the villains for this new Skylanders game don't suit me at all. First of all, they're using Chaos as the villain. Again! They completely retconned the ending of Superchargers when they could have done something completely different, and that really pisses me off. I really wanted someone new as the villain. I didn't want Chaos again. I wanted him to stay with the Skylanders for a long period of time and help them to fight evil. Because Chaos doesn't have his powers. Then they introduced something called the Mind Magic, which is what the whole concept of Skylanders Imaginators is. And they give him back his powers just like that. That is just... Toys for Bob, why couldn't you have kept in contact with Vicarious Visions for a good period of time so that you could do something different and new instead of using Chaos again? It's just not gonna work. The only reason I can see this working is if we reveal halfway through the game that Chaos is actually being used by someone else. They're not likely to do that. If Toys for Bob don't have that great an imagination from what I've seen with Spyro's Adventure, Giants, and Trap Team. They're not Vicarious Visions. Vicarious Visions are legends when it comes to creativity and when it comes to creating games. They're one of my most trusted video game developers, not Toys for Bob. The other problem I have with the new Skylanders Imaginators is Toys for Bob are using the villains again in gameplay as Skylander senseis. The whole backstory behind this is that Master Eon gave the Doom Raiders a chance to, make amends for their evil past by helping out the Skylanders Academy. And already I am not happy with that because we have a bunch of great villains right there. We have Wolfgang, we have Golden Queen, we have Dr. Cranecase, Chef Pepperjack, all these fantastic characters that could have made fantastic villains, and they will be in the Skylanders Academy cartoon. All of a sudden, all of that is out of the window and gone, turned into playable characters that are helping the heroes to become better heroes, particularly if you're creating your own Skylanders with the, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called, but the crystals that you use to create your own Skylanders, they help out these new heroes along with a bunch of other Skylander senseis to become better heroes and become stronger. That's pretty much in short what the concept of Skylanders Imaginators is. So I'll put it in brief. With Skylanders Imaginators, you create your own Skylanders, and then you have Skylander senseis who train your Skylander in that class to become better and more powerful. That's pretty much, in short, what Skylanders Imaginators is. But there are a few things about this game that I am looking forward to and will keep me interested enough to at least try the game out. The first one being this. This is something I've really wanted to happen, and I'm glad it's happening. Skylanders as NPCs. Finally! Progress, people! This is what we call progress, because at last, Skylanders will be interacting with each other. Sort of, actually. Because we had this briefly touched upon and explored within, what's it called? Damn, I forgot what it's called. Within Skylanders Superchargers, that's it. I can't believe I forgot the name of my favorite game. Favorite game in the series, that is. But in Superchargers, this was briefly touched upon with the Supercharger quest that Buzz gives to each of the 20 Superchargers, including Bowser and DK. That was really good what they did there, and it really helped to develop the character and personalities of these Superchargers. I really, really love that idea, and I'm glad that they're doing this for Skylanders Imaginators by taking the 4 Skylanders that have been confirmed to be in the actual Academy TV show, which are Spyro, Stealth Elf, Eruptor, and apparently Jetvac, from what I understand. They will all be appearing as NPCs. There hasn't been any word or confirmation of any other Skylanders, but I'm really, really looking forward to seeing who else I put in there. I would love to see them do Roller Roll and Spitfire. I would really love to see that. Oh, and Gilgrunt to be Water Element, and that leaves just the Earth Element, I think. Well, as far as I know, Terrafin probably be the best fit for that one. That's all I've got. But the other thing I'm sort of excited for, but also not really fully excited for, is the big controversy itself. Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders. Okay, let's leave the whole Imaginators thing now, and let's move on to the main thing. Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders Imaginators. I'm a Crash Bandicoot fan. My take on this is that I am 100% completely and totally fine with this. I don't give a care. I am not fussed about this. I'm not like every other Crash Bandicoot fan. I am not mad at all. I don't give a damn. Here's the basic reason why. He's back in action for good, okay? With Skylanders, even if they don't introduce a new Crash Bandicoot figure throughout each game, you can carry over that Crash Bandicoot figure through each and every game over and over. And the same is probably going to happen with Bowser and DK, who are introduced for Skylanders Superchargers. Pretty much what I'm seeing with Skylanders now is that it's a culmination of all the franchises in gaming brought together into Skylanders. I'd actually like to see that become a thing, bringing all the heroes from all the worlds together. So I'd like to see someone from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, but namely Sonic the Hedgehog or Amy Rose possibly. Someone from Ratchet and Clank, someone from Sly Cooper, definitely Sly Cooper. Maybe a Pokemon, maybe a Legend of Zelda character. Well, Link, obviously. Who else? What other franchise would I like to see in there? Can't think of any more off the top of my head. Sorry about that. But that's really why I'm not fussed about Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders Imaginators. I've seen the reveal trailer for him. His gameplay looks really good, actually. It looks like they stayed true to his classic gameplay. I really like that. It looks like they also combined elements from, not just classic, but also from Crash of the Titans and Mind of a Mutant, which I do like. I like Crash Mind of a Mutant. It's one of my favorite games in the franchise. It's my second favorite to the series to date. And I really like that. So, honestly, I'm not really that fussed about Crash Bandicoot being in Skylanders. It's also good to see that they introduced the TNT into the gameplay. I'm really looking forward to Crash Bandicoot in Skylanders. Honestly, I don't give a damn. I'm not fussed at all. But, not really interested in Skylanders Imaginators as it is. I'll give the game a go at least. I'm likely to get the PS4 version, even though I don't have a PS4. But I've got a reason to get a PS4 now, because Crash Bandicoot is back on the PS4. Perfect. But the final thing I want to talk about just quickly is Crash Bandicoot's future. Because we got him in Superchargers, Imaginators. So does that mean he's a confirmed Skylander now? Well, maybe? We don't know. Because here's the thing. From what I've gathered from his backstory, this game takes place 20 years after the events of Cortex Strikes Back. So in other words, 21 years after the franchise first started. And if we backtrack for the franchise a little bit and go to Crash Mind of a Mutant, if you have any bit of logic to yourself, you probably imagine that that game is set 8 years after the events of the first game. And mathematically, that does add up, because we know that 4 confirmed years have passed between Crash Bandicoot... it was 1 year between Crash 1 and Crash 2. We don't know how much time passed between Crash 2 and Crash 3, but we know 3 years passed between Wrath of Cortex and Twin Sanity. But after that, we only assume, based upon Coco's appearance, what the actual timeline progression is, and based upon that logic, it's 8 years forward in the franchise that we've gone from the first game. So there's a 12-year gap well, we suspect it's a 12-year gap between Mind of a Mutant and Imaginators. But we don't really have any full confirmation on all of this. This is just... I really don't know what's going on. So Crash Bandicoot's future, we have no clear confirmation as to what's going to happen next for him. We know he's in Skylanders, but is he going to stay a Skylander? We don't really know yet. We have no official confirmation. It'd be dumb anyway if he stayed a Skylander, because, well, Bowser and DK, they've got their own franchises to take care of. So, but from what I gather, these might be their last steps in their timelines for them. So, it's hard to... Okay, I'm just going to stop there, because it's going to get complicated from here on. I'm just going to stop there and recap, okay? Skylanders Imaginators. Not really looking forward to that. Not really excited. There are a few things I'm looking forward to. Crash Bandicoot being one of them. Not really fussed on him being in the game in the first place. I'm not fussed with him being in Skylanders. And as for Crash Bandicoot, his future is incredibly uncertain. That's all I've got to say, guys. And that's all I've got to finish off with. I'm the Primordial Clok-Roo, signing out.